Let's do a Mount Rushmore of moments you wish you could experience again in your life. We're going to have some introspective thoughts here, deep thoughts. As Webb has got the new sign in the back. Webb gets to go first. Webb, Schrep, and I'll go last. Moments you wish you could experience again.
Like bottle it up.
Yeah.
I wish probably my daughter being born. I mean, I remember it, but I also was so tired.
Yeah.
Because I was on the phone with her all night. And then I was like, you need to go? She's like, no, I'm fine. And then I get the call at like 5 a.m. I'm sure I wasn't even asleep an hour. And it was like, it's happening. So I had to make the like 2.5-hour drive. And I'm just like, not enough caffeine in the world. And my wedding day, because I was also tired. Like I didn't sleep. I didn't want to miss things. And I'm like, so I didn't sleep. I was so tired. So I wish I could redo those with
Redo, like
not redo,
relive or read.
Relive with like a fresh perspective on the day, with some sleep. Good 8 hours.
For the betterment of all of our marriages on the graphic, I'm going to put that as a 1-1 for all three of us. So that is a freebie on the board. We are all happily married. 2 of us have children. Schrep might be in the cards in the future. Little Schreps hitting the field. Schrep 1, Schrep 2.
Maya's enough for now. She's technically.
Maya's everybody's.
So child being born / wedding, Webb was tired for both. I can attest to the child being born. Like we drove all the way to Cherokee Nation Hospital there in Tahlequah, and holy smokes, that was a long drive from Bartlesville. It was like 2 a.m. and I don't know how I made it, but we made it. But the second one was here in Bartlesville, and that didn't take very long. That was like an hour. We showed up. Of course, they didn't have a doctor ready to go because it's Bartlesville at 3 a.m. in the morning. So this old boy had to come from Owasso, hadn't brushed his teeth, was mid-sleep, like he was on call, the OBGYN and or Obgyn. Some people say Obgyn. I don't know why you would say that. But he just came in, caught my child, and then I cut the cord, and then he filled out some paperwork and went back home and went to sleep. Let the nurses do the rest. So shout out the OBGYN who did not want to be there, but I do appreciate his care. Schrep, what do you got for 1-1?
So we already got our marriages and stuff. Good on that. Okay. One thing I would say, getting into this business, kind of a moment, like high school football wise, is my first year at Bartlesville. I was 9th grade in junior high. That took a lot of pride in, and I knew like I had to go through beginning steps and do everything. But I have this ball, basically in my office here, of the first game that I often took coordinated against Muskogee when we won. It was like 18-20, and like I wish I could go back and enjoy that a little bit more because it was pretty wound tight. And it's a small level, but like it was a really big moment for me because it was a step towards my goals that I want to be eventually. So that moment.
100%. And, having been a coach myself, like you do get so wound tight in some moments. And then you look back, you're like, hey, it was okay. We figured it out.
Just a little bit more.
Yeah.
It took me a long time to realize, like to enjoy the wins, enjoy the little things. Like, even though you're just like, I was so always fixated on, we didn't do things exactly how I thought we would do them or how we should have done them. But then you start realizing like, hey, wins are hard to come by. So enjoy them when you get it. And then, kind of take that day, enjoy it, and then go back to work. But like, game's over and you won, just let it go. Enjoy.
Yeah. And I think it's hard for us when it comes to high school football side, because when you're in a community where, regardless if football is the biggest thing or the smallest thing, and we've all been in different ones, but it's the parent waiting for you. It's like, hey, we just won. I'm really not trying to have a conversation about Bobby, who's 5th on the depth chart for inside linebacker. We just got to celebrate. So it's like sometimes you try to enjoy it and you try to let loose a little bit, and then some of the outside stuff creeps into the program, or the Corvette that we had to fix.
Yeah, just more times than not, you don't get that opportunity to enjoy it because there's always something waiting.
Yeah, there's always something.
Not many understand that.
No, there's always something popping off, because then regardless if it's a big team win and it seals our trip to the state playoffs or whatever it may be, and everybody's happy and buying merchandise and donating money and all those things. When you get in the locker room, little Jimmy didn't get a play, so he's swinging his helmet at the pillar, and you got to get that under control. And it's a lot. It's a lot to go on within that type of scene. I'm thinking about a few incidents. Just moving on. Just a positive tuck here. So again, we 1-1 for everybody was, child being born / wedding. So I will say probably playing catch with my dad. I don't think I took advantage of that enough. But that moment of just throwing the baseball, I mean, that was always really important. Baseball was bigger, I think, in the 90s. I don't know. It was before the lockout. It was before Schrep was born. But I mean, when the baseball did the lockout, they messed everything up. The NHL did the same thing. Hockey was bigger, and then they had a lockout, and it just screwed everything up. So NBA had a lockout too. That's how the Spurs got the #1 pick to get Tim Duncan out of Wake Forest, was because of the lockout year. They just tanked on purpose. So playing catch with your dad, I think it would be mine. And then the next one was probably experiencing winning a state championship for me in 2004. That was a big moment. I had lost like 5 titles in a row, even though we were ranked nationally like #3 in the Adidas soccer poll. Like I used to print out all those rankings. I accidentally printed out the entire like top 1,000 teams one time when I was in middle school in the computer lab. And shout out Mr. Robenstein being like, hey, bro, you can't print all this stuff. But 2004, winning state championship, finally beating my rival. And those guys went on to play at Notre Dame and big time programs across the country. I mean, they were stacked there. They were Northern Oklahoma City team. And they were just our kryptonite. We could beat anybody in the world, play teams from Europe and Mexico, but couldn't beat them. And then finally did. And I played with a broken foot. So gritty. Some would say real gritty. So watch the film. I still have the championship DVD. I could barely kick the ball. So I made it through.
To add to yours, Tuck, mine would be I could probably watching film with my dad, actually. We didn't really not like we practiced or went out there, but it was just like, we didn't talk about like X's and O's. It was just more about like mentality and how to attack things. And, so I would say that with my dad.
2-time national champ at OU, right?
Yep. Soft.
Coming from our favorite OSU Cowboy, Brandon Webb, who also learned piano. Fun fact. Schrep.
I would say I wish I'd go back because like COVID kind of ruined my college experience and kind of what I wanted to do. Which if we go in terms of redo it, like I'd sucker punch the dude that brought it over. So when I was GAing at Coffeyville or student assisting at Coffeyville, like I had plans to go to NSU and continue on with Mark Downing and all that, but then COVID hit. So from that point, it was just kind of a very unorthodox college experience that I really didn't get because I wanted to keep on like learning college systems and potentially staying in a college game and maybe branching off something different. But I mean, it all worked out for the best. I mean, I'm so blessed of where I am. But I went to RSU and then basically just try to grind it out. I didn't enjoy it. It was just kind of a survival thing at that point. So maybe if could redo, COVID not a thing, but enjoy the college experience more.
Yeah, and I'll couple that, and follow that for my third one is I think I was so embarrassed by having go to junior college to kind of get right. And it wasn't grades-based or anything like that. It's just I had gotten so bad, like attitude-wise, towards the end of high school because high school soccer and club soccer are just completely different things, right? And I had just gotten so worn out. But then when I got there, I just needed to be more grateful of the moment and not be so worried about, recruiting myself out and getting myself to a D2, D1 program and enjoy those moments. And I had the privilege of going back, right? Whenever my knee was done, I had to go back there and finish out my associate's degree because those credits wouldn't transfer. It wasn't like it is now where it's like you only got to earn 30 some credits at a university to actually get a degree from that university. They've changed some of the rules at the state level in Oklahoma. But yeah, I would say enjoy it more because there were some really good people that I met at Independence and we can kind of get sideways with Coach JB and Last Chance U. But at the end of the day, those people that you saw that were on boards for the university board of trustees or on the country club there that he had stuff at, those are people I knew. I played with some of them. They were local guys. And some of them were state champs, like the Independence Bulldogs. They won state title. I watched them win state, went out to that game. Just enjoy those moments more and not be so focused on what's next or, this is beneath me. I think maturity does that to you. It's like Webb's talking about in coaching. It's the same thing in life. You're like, man, yeah. So that's mine.
So for you, is it different now? Because I feel like most of the time now, club soccer, like you said, club soccer and high school soccer are so different. Well,
I
I don't think they recruited as much out of club soccer as they did, like as they do now.
Yeah, it's I probably wouldn't play high school, and I want kids to play for their schools and be part of their community. There's nothing better than having that sense of pride. But I got that from playing football, and
Yeah.
so I had all I wa- I it was really the greatest thing I did in high school was playing on Friday night. And like I've said before, when we've been together on other shows, I didn't care if we lost by 60. It didn't change how I felt about my teammates. Right? I did my dauber get down? Was I sad? Yep. Do I want to go win? But I also enjoyed the moment. I definitely was more present in those moments than I was the high school soccer side. So I probably just wouldn't, because like you said, you can play what's called ECNL or MLS Academy, MLS Next now, and you're pretty much, playing a professional pathway all the way up to the top level, and you might even skip college. There's just more opportunities, and I'm so glad for young men and young women across America. But I mean, it would just be different now. So, but also they was probably priced out. I was already on scholarship, and selling Amish jams all throughout Tulsa and, trying to make it work. So, and doing car washes at Quick Trips back in the day when they allowed that to raise money throughout Tulsa so that I could afford to play. And yeah, there's scholarships, but my family already couldn't travel with me across the country. And I had to go by myself with like $20 in my pocket. And thank God for the families on the team that were from like Jinx and were oil executives that helped, subsidize my club experience. But I don't know if I'd be able to afford today. It's crazy. Okay, I will bring some humor to the conversation. I will say my first McDonald's Happy Meal back in the day when there were real toys. I'm talking about Beanie Babies, glass mugs with the Flintstones and Batman. I have one. I've got a few. They're over here. I've hidden them from my wife. I promised her I got rid of them. They're not gone. Surprise, I'm caught in 4K. So there's something about going to McDonald's back in the day. It was just lit. So I will put that for mine.
So my family went through a phase of the camping. We had the camper, we had the boats, we had the jet skis. Every summer we were out there type deal. But probably, so like my favorite pair of sunglasses I like to invest in is Oakley's, right? I finally begged my dad, it was like my freshman year, to get me the new radar locks that were customized, $350 pair dollar glasses. So we went out to the lake, and we're going through the boat, jet skis. I'm riding the jet ski that sophomore going into sophomore year summer, and I had those sunglasses on, and we were going. Well, I fell off the jet ski, and only to come up to no sunglasses on my face. And I tell you, I never been so worried in my life waiting for my father to figure out that I no longer had that $350 pair of sunglasses, and that a Catfish is wearing them on the bottom of Copan Lake. So if I would go back, I would definitely not wear those at all. And that would have been a lot better of a night, just at least.
I definitely have a few of those moments.
When I go bow fishing, I hope I catch that sucker that's wearing them down there, because I know they're still there.
You're like, I've been waiting for you for a long time, buddy. He comes up, he's got a grill in now, and your big Oakley glasses.
Is that almost like a different version of the chubs out in the alligator?
This is for Chubbs. Let me shake your hand. Oh God!
Yeah. Didn't take my hand, took my sunglasses, and
remember when his fingers came up, and the next time you saw Chubbs, they were glued back on. Oh, that doesn't matter. Come on, Happy, you got it. Focus. R.I.P. Chubbs in real life.
Oakley sunglasses.
I'm gonna say when I was playing AAU basketball, like our trips, we would go. It was just for fun. We'd go stay at like Dollar Tree and absolutely destroy hotel rooms. But I mean, we just had fun. Just a bunch of D1 football players playing basketball. I mean, we were good. We were also like a little. I wouldn't call us lazy, but we were just kind of carefree sometimes. Like we wouldn't start playing until we got down. So it was kind of like kind of shows how good we could have been. But just going out there with like these guys you grew up with and just playing, and hotel trips and playing ball in Memphis and all these different cities, and it was just fun. I'd bottle that up, and then my college playing days with my guys. It wasn't really about. You realize when you're done, it's not really about whether you won it or not. It was just there's moments inside those. There's all types of moments inside those games. Moments inside of moments that you can't like replicate, but you won't forget it. So that's why I would say that one too.
100%. Just like the moment you guys decided to wear all gray, including gray helmets, I think during your era. I don't know how you didn't sweat those out just in pregame.
Well, it had the pockets that the sweat went to.
Oh,
So that, like, it wouldn't turn everything gray. It wouldn't.
Nike Drake fit.
It was cool, like up close, but like, looking at it from a distance, I guess it wasn't it, but
it was just, when the university's trademark is America's brightest orange and you see the Cowboys roll out, you're like, here are the Cowboys for a Thursday night game under the lights in Stillwater against the Iowa State Cyclones. And here come the Cyclones out in like maroon. And then here come the Cowboys in gray. And you're like, what? This ain't, I don't know. I just think the white and orange together just goes so hard for Oklahoma State. I don't know but I'm a sucker for that as a Knicks fan.
it is just a clean look.
It's just a clean look. So that was an era. God bless you for wearing that. And now I know there was sweat wicking technology, that it's far beyond the fan editions that you could buy at the bookstore back in the day. So that was our Mount Rushmore of moments you wish you could experience again. Very introspective. If you are fishing at Copan Lake in Northeast Oklahoma and you find those Oakleys, do not pawn them. Let's return them to Schrep. Give that back.
Bring back some trauma would be good.
I definitely have experienced similar trauma to that, where I'm just like, do I tell the truth or what route am I going to take?
It keeps me alive because like I always had them on my head and I knew like I had to get ahead.